Hello, Doc Mel and classmates. Here is my report about the evaluation framework for social marketing or social mobilization program. So what will I do in case I will evaluate a social mobilization program, a social marketing based from our lesson? That is why I would like to present to you the framework I have created. So here it is. Now, let me present to you this framework table. Now, you can see I have the column 1, the evaluation area, column 2, the evaluation questions, and column 3 is the key indicators and the methodology. Now, inside the evaluation area, I chose relevance, effectiveness, efficiency, impact, sustainability, inclusivity, scalability, and replicability. Now, let me discuss why I included these areas to be evaluated. Now, for relevance, under the evaluation questions, does the project address the urgent needs of the communities? Is it aligned with implementing agency's mission? It is really important to include this area in the evaluation because it is important to know if the project is really needed in the communities or the the activity, is it in line to the mission? Is it really the mission and vision of the implementing agency? So it should be relevant to the target beneficiaries or to the target audience and to the implementing agency. So what will be the key indicators that if it's relevant, how we will know that we really met the relevance of this activity? So there should be a community needs assessment conducted, alignment with social mission, and to do it, there should be the key II or the key informant interview. So it's important that we will interview some people who are having the important um, position in the community or other people who has the knowledge if this project or this social mobilization is really relevant or needed in the community. Now, let's talk about effectiveness. A social mobilization should be evaluated in this area. How a social mobilization effective, especially in matters of the objectives carried out in the program. For example, this evaluation question, are the objectives being achieved as planned? And really, are we are we really achieving the objectives we have put when we started to plan this social mobilization? And the key indicators is the percentage of areas which implemented the programs. How many areas already implemented the program versus the target, or the number of beneficiaries reached versus the target. Okay, we have the percentage. For example, in this social mobilization, we need to reach around 5 provinces. And then the beneficiaries, the people should be 500. So I have to compare that to the target versus to the current reach we have, able to reach the people we reach. So this should be the indicators if really the program really an effective to the people in the society. So how do we will know it? We need to have this methodology: document review, the baseline, and the end line. So our objectives we set, and then the result. So it's the comparison. Okay. Now let's talk about the efficiency. So now this area of evaluation, we need to know in the question, our resources, funds, people, our time being used wisely. And the key indicators, cost per beneficiary, timeliness and fund disbursement and implementation. How we would know it? Document review again, the baseline and the end line. Now, why this area is so important? Because especially the funds, we really need to manage the financial aspect of every program, because without being careful in managing the funds, the resources, the time, for sure, we will fail in any project. That's why this area is so crucial in evaluation. How efficient are we? How we manage it? How we really maximize the resources? We really need to know if the money was managed well, the people and the time and other kinds of resources. Okay? Now let's talk about the impact. Now, if we are making a social mobilization program, I believe this is the top one area to be included in evaluation. Why? Because a social mobilization, as we have discussed and learned, it is about the people, it's about the society, it's about the behavioral change that we are introducing to people. So how can we know if the program has really an impact, has really has made a difference to the people? Have we really convinced the people to make a change, to make a lifestyle change for their benefit? So therefore, impact is really important. So here are the evaluation questions. What changes, short and long term, have occurred as a result of the project? So have we really touched them? Are there changes happening or happened as we implement the program or implemented the program? And how we'll notice the key indicators are the changes in income, health, education, social cohesion. How are the testimony or testimonials of the people and the project output? And the methods, we will use baseline survey and endline survey. So it's part, there are people who will participate in the survey of this social mobilization. So we will also use the key informant interview. We need to know from the people if these target beneficiaries really, really benefited in this social mobilization program or social marketing. How they were affected by this program. Are there any changes or improvement in their life? Okay. Now, next is we will include the sustainability. Now, sustainability is about even if the program has stopped or the implementing agency stopped to provide for the financial needs or the management of the mobilization or the project, can this program will still be sustained or will still continue? Now, our evaluation questions will be, can the benefits can the benefits continue after external support ends? So what are our key indicators? Presence of local partnerships. There should be partnerships so that the community will continue because there are still offices or institutions that will support them. And the percentage of self-sustaining initiatives. How about the contribution of the community members and their leaders? What are their strategies in order that this social mobilization will continue? How we will do it? The methodology is through document review. So document, because it's very important to document every activity in social mobilization so that we will know how it will really continue even if the program has ended. Let us now talk about this area, inclusivity. Why do we need to include this as part of the evaluation of a social mobilization? Because when we plan a social mobilization program, we must not consider only the first beneficiaries. For example, our campaign is about stop the smoking in the community. So the first beneficiaries are the smokers. If they stop, they will be benefited in about the program and they will be healthy. How about the people surrounding them? The children, the women, especially the pregnant women, and the senior citizens who are not as healthy as the young people. So we need to consider them if they will benefit from this activity. So, like for this example, we have this evaluation question. Are vulnerable groups being prioritized? Example, women, elderly, IPs, PWDs. It should also include the children. And what are the key indicators? Percentage of targeted vulnerable populations included, the number of PWDs, senior citizens, IPs, children, and women. So we must know if how many of them have benefited from this program. And what are our methodologies? Document review, baseline survey, and endline survey. Let's talk about the last area to be evaluated. It is important to include scalability and replicability. Now, what are the evaluation questions? Can the model be replicated or scaled up to other areas or places? This is also a big question. That if this social mobilization, for example, we have a target area. For example, our target is NCR. Can we expand to the northern Luzon areas or southern Luzon areas so we can increase our reach? Now, what are the key indicators? Number of areas adopting new modules and feedback from implementing units. So it's important that we need to know if there are areas already adapting it. How we will determine this? Through a methodology called document review, survey, and then the key informant interview. So I guess I have already discussed the seven areas to evaluate a social mobilization program. I believe these areas will really see if the social mobilization program has been effective, has really made an impact, and the objectives have been achieved. So I hope I have explained well. Thank you for watching and listening. This is again Maricel Pomares. Thank you and God bless you.